Well, looks like it's time to go and grab another harvest. We've got quite a few bits and bobs, salads and lettuce leaf, but I also noticed something else that's just come ripe this morning. And that's just here. We've got some ripe strawberries already. Only little ones, but very welcome this early in season. And there's a couple just there as well. It always puts a smile on my face when you start picking your first strawberries that year. And there's only a couple at the moment, but we have got that strawberry tower in container garden, and that's getting lots and lots of strawberries on it. And also we've got new plants coming through just out Bottomette garden, where the plants are now quite big and full of flowers. But for today, I'm quite happy with a couple of nice fresh homegrown strawberries. Not everything is going according to plan though. I did notice something else in garden today that looks a little strange, and I'll show you what that is. And that's just down here where we've got all this potato plants growing, and every one of them has really put some good size on, and everyone's in containers as well, so we can get cleaner harvests. But there is a bit of a problem with just one of them, and it's this one. We've got a couple of seed potatoes in the same container. This one, perfectly healthy and also starting to flower, so they must be second earlies. But the plant next to it is really struggling, and I have no idea why. All the leaves have all curled up, but yet they've all had the same amount of watering, and some of the foliage is dying back as well. It's tempting to pull this plant out and see what's going on, because you can also see that it's gone quite yellow as well. And every other plant we've got is a lush green and look really healthy. If I dig in, I might be able to feel something without disturbing those roots too much, just to see if there's anything in this container. And I can't feel anything at all. I'm not sure what's going off with these plants. I'll leave it, and if it gets any worse, I think I'll just pull it out, just in case it's got a disease. I don't want it spreading to any other plants. And I've got a few spring onions in here as well, but as these tomato plants grow, they're going to start and bury them, so I might as well take these out. At least if we take them out, we can keep this ground clear. So if I just try and pull the whole bunch up without snapping those tops, and shake off that compost. They're not huge, but they're big enough for me. We've got a nice little bit of onion flavour there. And there's a couple next to them. Let's get those out as well. These are starting to get a bit of mould on them, if you see. They've got too wet, so we've got mould building up on these onions. So they're no good. Take the next bunch up and see what's happening with those. These ones, again, really small. A couple of biggish ones, but there's no mould on these, so these are alright. And we can still use these green tops as well, so we'll get something out of them. And now we've got another 3. And that's a perfect one, that. And a really nice stem for us to chop up and put in as mashed potatoes. That's a nice one as well. That's the biggest one so far. Really nice example of a spring onion. I've just given those a bit of a rinse with hose pipe. We've got a nice bunch of spring onions there. Brilliant. We can always use spring onions in pretty much anything. And you've probably noticed, no, I didn't pop those flowers on. I'll get that done today. But yeah, it's great. We've got some strawberries. We've got a nice bunch of spring onions. And it's only the start of June. I also want a little bit of salad, so let's go and get some of that as well. And I have moved quite a few plants up here, just to keep them out of the sun with them being quite tender, especially these little lettuce seedlings. Don't want them shriveling up because they're ready for repotting now, and there's a few more bigger ones behind as well. But we've also got these containers in shade, and that's that little pot of salad leaf that we did next to that red Apache, and they're all looking really healthy. And then we've got some larger ones. Those are little gems that we've let grow on. But I have also got that one as well. Some really nice big lettuce leaves in this basket. That's just a bunch of regular lettuce that we popped in here. And they've grown really quickly. And now we've got some nice lettuce leaves that we can harvest and then let it grow back again. So I'm pretty pleased with progress of this basket. We just popped it in that garden, and it wasn't very long ago either. So now we can take some nice fresh lettuce. And you can see how really nice and green this all is. So I'm just going to basically pinch away some of these bigger leaves, like those. And all the smaller ones will leave to grow on. And I don't need a lot, just a little bit of lettuce today, because I've still got a little bit left in fridge. And that's different coloured lettuce, so I'm adding a little bit of green to it as well. It's the beauty of doing different varieties of salad. I think that'll be enough. I only wanted a small amount, so we'll pop that basket back where we got it from and leave it to grow on a bit more. I've basically got salad growing all over the garden at the moment, and it's brilliant. We never have to buy any from the supermarket, and what we're growing is a lot fresher as well. And it's costing us nothing except a few seeds and a little bit of patience. You've probably already seen this before in container gardening. We've also got these mixed batches of salads as well. And this one's called mixed French salad. And we've already had a couple of harvests from this. We just take little bits at a time and obviously let it grow back again. Won't last forever, but it will last for a few weeks. Which is a few weeks and me not spending money on salads from the supermarket. And we've got a couple of those containers as well. Plus the basket you just saw, and the little gems in the long container, and everything's growing brilliant. And we also did a 10-litre container, and we've put a few little gem plants in there as well, and you can see just how well they're all growing. A tiny bit of space, and we're getting all this fresh homegrown produce, and we're going to keep getting that right up until end of year. So salads are definitely off our shopping list. So we've got a couple of strawberries. I've got a little bit of that nice leaf lettuce and a really big bunch of spring onions, with lots more to come as well. I've noticed there's a container down at Container Garden that we have put onions in as well, and I've let those grow on, and now they're quite big bulbs. So we're going to be taking those out because there's also carrots in there and some more lettuce, so we can give those a little bit of room to grow on. But all these salads now are being moved to the other end of the garden in that shady bit. Then we don't have to worry about them shrivelling up in that heat. And don't forget, it's going to get quite warm this weekend, so if you have got tender crops like salads, if they're in containers, put them in shade. Don't leave them in that full sun all day. And now we've mentioned it, I'll show you those onions in that other container and what a difference it makes just by letting them grow on for a couple of extra weeks. We've also got quite a lot of gooseberries growing on here now as well. So that's another harvest pending. But it's this container I was talking about. It's quite a big one, and we've put some little gems down the middle and a few carrots at the back, which we've thinned out recently. On this side we've got more onions, and you can see these ones are a really good size. I'm just going to get that one out because I only have to twist it and we can take that straight out by itself. And that's a nice big spring onion. But I'm still leaving the rest of these onions in here, and then I can grow them on and get some bigger bulbs. We've took that one as well, and these, as I was saying, are really nice sized bulbs and perfectly clean. You can see when your spring onions are bulbing up beyond what you'd normally let them, because it starts to pull life out of these, and then they'll drop down, and that's pretty much as big as you'll get a spring onion bulb. But that's perfect for me. We've got an old container of those growing as well, and spring onions are so easy to grow. We've got some more seeds, so we're just going to be planting more and more all the way through the season. But today, I think those spring onions, that nice sized one, and that bitter extra lettuce, and not forgetting about those strawberries that we just harvested as well, which is probably the only reason I made this video in the first place, just to show you that first harvest of strawberries so early in the year. If you want to see what else we harvest as we go through the season, please hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell, and we'll see you next time. Take care.